President Trump has widened the global trade war he started since retaking the White House. He's announced a 25% tariff on all cars imported into the United States from the 2nd of April. The US president claimed the measures would spur growth in the US car industry and create jobs and investment.
This will continue to spur growth like you haven't seen. Before I was elected, we were losing all of our plants. They were being built in Mexico and Canada and other places. Now those plants largely have stopped and they're moving them to our country. In Indiana, the great state of Indiana, I love Indiana, Honda is building one of the biggest plants.
What you are about to hear may change your understanding of the balance of power in North America. The United States has found itself caught between two fires. Canada from the north, Mexico from the south. And both countries have responded in unison with an unexpected and powerful answer to the new wave of tariffs announced by Donald Trump. Not even the boldest analysts could have predicted this. It seems the trade storm of the spring of 2025 is only beginning, and its epicenter is not Washington, but the borders of the United States. The president of Mexico, in an evening television address on March 27, 2025, quite literally shocked the White House. He firmly declared, "We do not recognize American tariffs on electric vehicles and auto components. The response will be swift." That same evening, Canada also responded. Prime Minister Mark Carney stated, "The United States is no longer a reliable partner. Our response will follow on April 2nd. An atmosphere of absolute unpredictability has been created. The United States did not expect such a firm reaction from both sides at once. And whereas previously Trump had hoped he could continue playing by the old rules with Canada and Mexico, the situation has now escalated to the limit. The cause of the conflict is the imposition of 25% tariffs on all imports of cars and auto parts into the United States. Under the pretext of protecting national security, the Trump administration struck a blow at its largest trading partners. Canada and Mexico, which play a key role in supply chains for the U.S. automotive sector, have become targets. But this time, they did not remain silent. Mexico, long viewed by Washington as a backyard, has unexpectedly shown its teeth. The country's president announced the possible introduction of retaliatory tariffs starting on April 15th. In the crosshairs. Not only automobiles, but also high-tech products, steel, and agricultural goods. Under threat, American brands including Tesla and Ford. The intrigue lies in the fact that Mexico has, in recent years, become one of the most important hubs for electric vehicle production. According to data from 2024, the country produces about 2 million electric components and hybrid elements per year, the majority of which are exported to the United States. Moreover, many American companies deliberately place production there due to low labor costs. Now this dependency could turn into a catastrophe for them. A provocative question now being asked even in Washington, did we go too far with the pressure? One White House official admitted, "We did not expect such a strong response from Mexico." And that is already a signal. But everything is further aggravated by the fact that Canada is striking at the same time. It announced the introduction of tariffs on April 2nd. At the same time, there are discussions about possibly suspending supplies of oil, gas, and electricity to the United States. The Canadian Prime Minister directly stated that he would reconsider energy agreements. Such a measure could hit American consumers right before summer. A paradoxical situation has emerged. Two countries with which the United States has long built common trade rules within the framework of the USMCA are now threatening in sync to break the entire structure. The main question now comes to the forefront. Can the U.S. economy withstand such dual pressure? The total trade turnover between the United States, Canada, and Mexico exceeded $1.4 trillion in 2024. Every day, millions of dollars cross the borders between them in the form of auto components, food products, oil, and gas. Disrupting these flows is a blow not only to politics, but also to millions of jobs. Against this backdrop, Tesla has found itself at the epicenter of two simultaneous blows. In Canada, discussions are already underway about canceling tax incentives for Elon Musk's company. In Mexico, rumors suggest special taxes may be introduced on electric vehicles of American origin. In other words, Tesla products could overnight become expensive and uncompetitive across North America. Mexico, long considered a country of compromises, has suddenly transformed into a predator on the trade arena. Canadian media openly admit we didn't expect Mexico to go this far. Even we were softer. In Ottawa's diplomatic circles, there is a talk of possible coordination between the two countries. Is this possible? If Canada and Mexico join forces, it could become a deadly challenge to Trump's trade policy. The provocative question here is, has Trump cornered himself? If he backs down, his supporters will see it as weakness. If he does not, he risks dragging the United States into a full-scale trade war on two fronts, with consequences for the entire economy. All of this is happening against the backdrop of the upcoming elections. Rising prices, logistical problems, job cuts, all of it could hurt approval ratings. Especially if the electorate begins to feel that America First is turning into real damage. It is becoming clear. From the words trade storm, we have reached the brink of a real hurricane. As the dates of April 2nd and April 15th approach, when Canada's and Mexico's retaliatory measures are set to take effect, pressure on the White House is mounting. Is diplomatic resolution possible? Theoretically, yes. There is already talk of a possible trilateral summit. But can an agreement be reached if one side continues to say America will not back down? A question for you, dear viewers. Will Mexico's unexpectedly tough response really corner the United States? Or is Donald Trump, as always, bargaining, trying to extract the best deal at the last moment? Will Canada and Mexico manage to reach an agreement and form a united front against the United States? What do you think? How much longer can the supply chain withstand such pressure? And how will all of this affect your wallet? Share your opinion in the comments, especially if you live in Germany and follow global markets. Because the consequences of this storm may reach us too.